So thank you very much, Rossella, for inviting us to present the construction blueprint project, because I think this project and Icaro project has a lot of connection and links that we have to exploit in the future. As for the construction blueprint project, this is the skill blueprint for the construction industry. These are the contents of my presentation. I will say something about the call and partnership, because it's important to know who is funding this project. Also some words about the rationale and background of this initiative. The key areas of intervention that have been defined by the call itself, so by the European Commission. The objectives of the project. The outcomes we expect to get after project ends. And finally, I will say something about the health and safety blueprint that has already mentioned by Rossella. So this is the goal of this project. This is a project on cooperation for innovation and the exchange of good practices. So it's a sector skill alliances for implementing a new strategic approach. So this the meaning of blueprint to sectoral cooperation on skills. The line is a key activity 2. The duration is 4 years, so we have time to do a lot of things. The budget is quite good, but we are a lot of partners as well. So when you distribute the money among all these partners, not that much, but okay, yeah, and 4 years, that's right. But anyhow, it's a good money to do a lot of things. And we, the Labour Foundation for Construction, are the leading partner of this initiative. So, partners, 24, coming from 12 countries. We have on board 3 European Union sectorial organizations, 2 from the Employers Association side, and also for trade unions, European trade unions. And we have also 9 national sectorial representatives in each country. And the partnership is also composed by 12 construction bed providers. This was compulsory in the call. We have to have, let's say, the 50% of the partnership bed providers and the other part employers, let's say social agents, sectoral representative, particularly employer association. Regarding the background of the project, let's say that we have based this project in two communications, two documents, 2 important documents. The first one is the strategy for the sustainable competitiveness of the construction sector and its enterprises, which is quite famous and I think quite good. Was launched in 2012, and among other things, it said that it is important to notice that there is a lack of skilled construction workers in the sector around Europe. So we also need new specific skills not covered by the BED system. This need of new qualification may be explained because the European Union, you know, that wants to make this transition to a low carbon economy. But maybe the most important aspect of this strategy was that they stress the importance of strengthening the human capital of the building industry. The other important document is the new skill agenda for Europe. Well, not that new actually, because maybe we should start thinking about the new one, and I think that they are in the process to do so. But in this new skill agenda for Europe, there were several important aspects. For instance, they said that it's important the capabilities to determine the competitiveness and the talent to drive innovation. Also, the need to setting up general plan for sectorial cooperation on skill. In particular, the need of establishing sector skills alliance, like this project, in order to ensure the needs, a better needs detection in the sector, not in our sector, in other sector. So why all these things? Because they also detected that 40% of employers in Europe have trouble to find people with the skill they need to grow and innovate. So I think this is a very important data to take into account. Concerning the key areas of intervention, there are 3 areas plus 1. The first one is digital skills. The second one is energy efficiency. You know how important is this one. And of course, the circular economy, which is also becoming very, very important lately. And then, after the main blueprint, they launch another project to address this health and safety area that is also very important in the sector. Let's say that the blue areas are being addressed by the construction blueprint, and then the health and safety topic is being addressed by the health and safety blueprint, which is another project that I will say a few words later on. So, energy efficiency. You know that is one of the main drivers of skill development in the sector. In fact, from 2010, we have a lack of skills in the energy efficiency. This is clear. Why? Because the European Commission agreed to decarbonize the European building stock by 2050, which is may seem very, very far away, but it's approaching the deadline. So this is provoking that between 3 and 4 million workers will need to be updated in this field, in energy efficiency. Regarding the digitalization, I think that the previous, Francesco was the name of the previous, Francesco Ruperto also mentioned this during his presentation, the importance of digitalization in the sector, because workforce will use tools to do their job quicker, more precisely, and with fewer errors. For instance, drones, I don't know, new machinery, new apps to help the construction processes, a lot of them, robotics, because this tool will contribute to further the optimization of the building design and utilization. Not to mention BIM, which is one of the main key drivers of this change in the construction industry. And finally, the circular economy. You know that this is now a trending topic in Europe, and in which the construction industry has a very important role. The circular economy will change the traditional paradigm of the sector, for sure. We are going to step from a traditional construction process to a much more industrialized one. So we are moving from a linear economy to a more sustainable one. All in all, we are moving for the construction sector, the traditional sector, to a construction industry approach. So this was the background of the project. These were the key areas of intervention. And now I would like to talk about the objectives of the project. This is the general objective. The idea is to develop a specific, innovative, relevant instrument to address skill shortages and gaps in order to match skill demand and supply. The skill demands by the companies and the supply that best providers are offering. Also, we would like to create, not new occupation maybe, but new skills, dealing with green and digital competencies. This is the main objective, the main aim of the project. And to get this general objective, we are going to set up a sector skill strategy, and we are going to have into account the growth of the sector, also the employment, the innovation that is behind all these things, the sustainability of the sector in the future, and also the competitiveness of construction companies in Europe. Now, the specific objectives. Of course, the first one are to design and implement the blueprint and also the sector skill alliance that we are creating with the NEO project and this new and big partnership. We would like also to identify good practices in Europe dealing specifically with skill shortages and mismatches. And to support this identification, we are going to create a skill observatory of needs. To do so, we will use big data analysis. The idea is to have a tool that will allow bed providers to detect needs. We would like to have this ready for regional level, at least for regional level. Also, we are going to foster the development of a specific solution of bed provision, so NEO skills. We are going to create flexible training learning method, massive open online courses, specifically for teaching energy efficiency, basic knowledge, digitalization, and circular economy. And since we have a lot of new key areas of intervention, we are going to analyze all training systems from all countries involved in order to identify those professional qualification and occupational profiles that should be revised. This is a very important part of the project. You know that the construction industry is not appealing for newcomers, especially for youngsters. So we would like to promote the attractiveness of the sector by outreach campaigns that will be launched probably in 2021. And also for the Erasmus Plus program and also for the bed providers, it's important to encourage the mobility of our students. The creation of new networks to improve skill intelligence and information mechanism between all relevant stakeholders is a must in this project. And also the promotion of mutual trust through transparency and transferability among partners. So if we manage to have something common, it will be possible to transfer this new skill, new qualification to other countries in Europe. And finally, these are the last objectives of our project, but not least. We are going to launch a collaborative platform to build a community among all stakeholders. So the idea is to have as many stakeholders as possible on board, participating in this collaborative platform. Of course, this project doesn't make sense without the endorsement of relevant stakeholders. So this is a very important part of the project to get this endorsement by relevant stakeholders, not only national stakeholders, but also European ones. And finally, the sustainability of the project, or the blueprint, is also very important. So we will try to identify funding opportunities to make this project and this blueprint alive when the project ends. So, which are the outcomes? We are now in the first phase of the project, the first work package of the project, and we are now analyzing in each country several factors. We are carrying out a PESEL analysis, political, economical, social, technological, legal and environmental analysis in each country in order to set up a status quo of this situation in this country concerning energy efficiency, digitalization and circular economy. When this is ready, we are setting up a roadmap in order to create the first draft of the sectoral skill strategy. This is almost ready. In fact, after this meeting, we will try to analyze the first draft of the sectoral skill strategy with all partners involved in the project. So we expect to have this ready by the end of the year with a final version of this skill strategy. We have this already mentioned action, the new skill we are going to propose. The construction watchtower, this is the observatory, the skill observatory. We are also going to study the occupational profiles and qualification, and all these results will be maximized by the outreach campaigns that we are going to start up in the future. Of course, all this supported by the endorsement by stakeholders and the dissemination activities, the exploitation measure, and the impact we are going to get with this action and this strategy. With all these elements, we will be able to create the sectoral skill alliance of the project in order to get the final output of the project that, of course, they are the blueprint itself and also the sustainability of the project for the future. Well, this is the construction blueprint. You will find the website of the project by the end of this presentation. If you want further information, just visit the website. It's not yet fully ready, but it will be very, very soon. But you have further information there. And concerning the health and safety blueprint, this is a totally different approach project because it's not exactly a call, this is a tender. But we have also a lot of countries involved. In fact, the same countries that are already involved in the other construction blueprint project. The money is not that high, of course, but the time is shorter, and we are and only the labor foundation for construction is in the project. So let's say we have a lot of money, but a short time to do a lot of things. So we are in a hurry right now. Very briefly, the background of the project is something that is already mentioned, that we need to update the current and future risks related to the green economy. We have detected new risks associated with work procedures, techniques, new materials related to green construction, and these new risks are not recognized and fully addressed. So we need to analyze and update this new skill on health and safety in order to prevent and minimize emerging risks through training and information to workers of our sector. So just as a reminder, we have these areas of intervention for the blueprint project, and then we are addressing the health and safety issue by the health and safety construction blueprint project. So this is the main objective, to develop and update a comprehensive training framework to address new emerging needs on health and safety, specifically those related to energy efficiency and new bio-based materials in the construction industry. In particular, those related to new construction and insulation material and new technologies and individual processes. These are the outcomes of the project. We have already finished the health and safety need analysis. We have carried out a desk research, but also a field study in the 12 countries involved, and we have carried out like almost 2,000 surveys, a lot of interviews, and several focus groups in each country in order to finally propose new health and safety modules to be developed to address these new skills and risks. We are right now working on this and developing new training content on health and safety and new training material on health and safety. The idea is to create digital material. So we will have in several languages new training material to be used in different training courses. The idea is to have finally an app with all this information, all the new training materials, with several resources such as augmented reality, serious games, virtual navigation, a lot of things. When we have all the health and safety module ready, the idea is to deliver them in several countries. So we are going to carry out some pilot courses in order to validate our new contents from the technical, pedagogical, and technological point of view, in order to have all vision of our new materials. With this modification, we will deliver the final version of the material. In this project, of course, again, very important to have a stakeholder endorsement, and we are also consulting them to get their approval to our new modules. And of course, dissemination is also important. So finally, we define H modules, new modules, in 3 different scopes. The first one is material, the second one is operations, and the last one is waste management. As for material, you can see the modules, the new module we propose. The first one has to do with the insulation materials, with all of them. The second one with finishing materials. There is another one related to asphalt or related materials, and the 4 modules is going to be on renewable and recycled materials. The idea of all the modules is to define the characteristics of each material and then trying to identify the risks related to them. And another line to define preventive and protective measures that should be put into motion to prevent all this hazard of the risks. As for operation, of course, again, very important, the insulation operations. We have a module devoted to this. But we have also trending topics here, such as the inverted green room, because it's something that is becoming very important in several countries lately. And we cannot forget the renewable energy system that is always very, very important in our sector and in a building. Again, we will try to identify hazard and protective measures of each of them. And this is the last module we have, the module H, will deal with waste management, because for us is of course important, but a lot of experts in the field study reported that waste management is the future of the sector, because, as you know, also already mentioned, it's really connected with the life cycle of the building and the circular economy. So I think it's crucial for the future of the sector. So that's all from my side, very, very quickly, because we are behind schedule, but I comply with the time, I think. And this is the website of Construction Blueprint. You can find there information about this project, the Construction Blueprint project, but also about health and safety project. So I encourage you to visit this very, very nice website and find further information about both projects. Thank you.